Hello students, our subject is economics. This is our syllabus, the revised syllabus, that is the new one, the changed syllabus for the academic year 2021. These are the chapters we have to study this year. As you can see in the content part, there are total 10 chapters has been given. Chapter 1, number 1, that is introduction to micro and macroeconomics. The second one, utility analysis. 3A, demand analysis. 3B, elasticity of demand. Both the chapter 3A and 3B are interrelated to each other. That is why 3A and 3B is given. Chapter number 4, supply analysis. Fifth one, forms of market. Sixth one is an index number. Seventh, national income. Eighth, public finance in India. Ninth, money market and the capital market in India. And the 10th one is the foreign trade in India. Now, let us understand what is the new chapter, what is the new thing that has been introduced in this particular syllabus. Chapter number 6, that is the index number. This is the new chapter which is been introduced in the syllabus. Seventh one, the national income. This is also the new one which is introduced in this particular syllabus. Public finance in India, this is also the new chapter. Money market and capital market, this was there in the old syllabus. Again this chapter has been repeated here. And the 10th chapter, that is the foreign trade of India, this is also a new chapter which has been introduced in the new syllabus. So there are total 4 chapters has been newly introduced in the new syllabus, and rest all other chapter is been revised from the repeated from the old syllabus. So I hope that you all have got the knowledge about the new chapters and the old chapters which was there. Now let us start with the chapter number 1, that is introduction to micro and macroeconomics. Let us see the introduction. Microeconomics and macroeconomics are the two main branches of modern economics. The term micro is derived from the Greek word micros, that is M-I-K-R-O-S, which means small or a millionth part. The term macro is derived from the Greek word macros, M-A-K-R-O-S, macros, which means the largest part. The term were coined by Norwegian economist Ragnar Frisch in the year 1933. So as per the introduction, what we have understood, micro and macroeconomics are the two branches of modern economics, and this concept is given to us by Ragnar Frisch in the year 1933. The term microeconomics is derived from the Greek word micro, M-I-K-R-O-S, micro, which means the smallest or the millionth part of an economy, and the term macroeconomic is derived from the Greek word macros, M-A-K-R-O-S, macros, which means the largest part of an economy. Now let us understand the background about Ragnar Frisch. The full name of Ragnar Frisch is Ragnar Anton Kittel Frisch. He born in the year 1895 and died in the year 1973. He was a Norwegian econometrician and economist. Now here the two word is been given here about Ragnar Frisch, that is econometrician and economist. You know very well the person, you know very well about the economist, the person who has developed certain theories, who have developed certain models, who have given the new terms and concept in economics. We call that particular person as an economist. But the new word, that is an econometrician, means the application of mathematical model and the statistical technique to the economic data and theories. Now whenever a person is working in an economics field, he again and again have to collect the data. There are two sources of collecting the data. One is the primary source and second one is the secondary source. When the person collects the data from the primary source, he have to collect the data, he have to classify the data, he have to tabulate the data, he have to make the data in a more presentable manner by using various statistical tools, various techniques, various mathematical models, so that it can be understood by the people in a better way. So the person who have developed this kind of mathematical tool and model we called that particular person as an econometrician, and currently Ragnar Frisch was an econometrician. He was a joint winner of Nobel Prize in the year 1969 with Jan Tinbergen. He have coined many economic terms. In an article of Business Cycle, Frisch is likely to be the first person who have referred to the study of individual firm and producer as microeconomics. He have also referred to the aggregate economy as a macroeconomics. So he is the person who have given to us the concept of micro and macroeconomics. Now let us see the meaning of microeconomics. Microeconomics means a small part of a thing. Microeconomics thus deal with the small part of a national economy. It studies the economic action and behavior of individual units like individual consumer, individual producer or a firm, price of a particular commodity or a factors. So here by this meaning we can say that a microeconomic is the smallest individual unit. It is a detailed study of an individual unit that is given to us like individual consumer, individual producer, individual seller, this kind of things that we are studying from the whole economy. There are definitions given to us by Morris Dobb and Professor A.P. Lerner. Let us see the definition given to us by Morris Dobb. Microeconomics is in fact a microscopic study of an economy. According to Morris Dobb, he says that whenever a particular person is having a detailed study of an individual economic unit, he is doing a microscopic study of that particular individual unit. He is having an idea, he is in a position to have the more detailed knowledge about the individual unit, so that the various factors which affect the decision of that individual unit can be studied in a proper manner, and the people can have a detailed knowledge about that particular economic unit. The second definition given to us by Professor A.P. Lerner, which is somehow similar to the first definition given by Morris Dobb. Let us see the definition of A.P. Lerner. Microeconomics consists of looking at an economy through a microscope. Obviously, the science people, what they are doing, they are collecting the sample, they are putting it under the microscope and they are analyzing it. In the same manner, what we are doing as an economics student, as an economics person, we are collecting the data of my individual economic unit, and we are having a detailed analysis and the study of that particular unit, so that we can have a detailed and a more appropriate analysis of that particular unit, as it were to see how the million of cells in the body of an economy, the individual or household as a consumer and individual or firm as a producer, plays their part in the working of the whole economic organism. Same way, the thing that we are understanding, the thing that we are analyzing, the thing that we are deriving the meaning out of that particular unit, we are doing the microscopic study of an economy, so that we can find it out how important it is in a whole economy. I hope that you have understood the definition given to us by Morris Dobb and Professor A.P. Lerner. The second thing that is given to us is the scope of microeconomics. There are three theories has been propounded. The first one is a theory of product pricing, the second theory is a theory of factor pricing, and the third one is a theory of economic welfare. Let us start with the first theory. The theory of product pricing is an individual commodity. It is determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Now, the two factors, that is demand and supply, we have to understood in a more appropriate manner. The demand analysis, demand for goods and services in the market depend upon the various factors like price, income, taste, likes and dislikes of the people. And the supply analysis depend upon the goods, depend upon the various factors like demand, government policy, cost of production, natural condition and many other factors. So these are the terms that is been associated with the demand and the supply factors. Microeconomic is concerned when the demand analysis, that is individual consumer behavior, and the supply analysis and individual producer behavior. I hope that you have understood this product pricing theory. The second one is a theory of factor pricing. Now there are four factors of production are associated in an economics. The first factor of production is land, the second one is a labor, third one is a capital, and fourth one is an entrepreneur. The four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur, are the factors that we are using in order to manufacture goods and services that need to be distributed among the people into a particular economy. The four things that is very important related to the factors of production, that is the rent, the wages, the interest, and the profit. Rent, this is given for the house, for the factory, and the leasehold premises. Whenever any particular person have the land, and when it has been occupied by the people, the person, the owner of that particular land will get the rent. So here the land rent is directly associated to the land. The second one is the wages. The wages is given for the blue collar jobs, that is the worker that is working in a factory. So whenever the worker is working in a particular factory, he will get the wages in return. The wages can be paid on a daily basis, the wages can be paid on a weekly basis, and the wages can also be paid on a monthly basis. It depends upon factory to factory. The third one is an interest. This is given on the deposits or the investment done by the people, that is the investment done in the form of capital by the people, in the form of capital in a particular industry or a firm. So the people, when they invest their capital, they will get the interest on that particular capital. So interest is directly associated on the capital. The fourth one is the profit. Profit, this is given to the businessman who conducts the business activity in a proper manner, in a more appropriate manner. So whenever a person conducts the business activity, he will manufacture the goods and services in a more appropriate manner by using all the available resources with the maximum output. When he delivers it to the ultimate consumer in the market, he will derive the profit out of it. So here the four factors of production, that is the land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur, they will get, land will get the rent, labor will get the wages, capital interest, and entrepreneur, they will get the profit. The third theory is a theory of economic welfare. The theory of welfare basically deals with the efficiency in allocation of resources, and efficiency in allocation of resources is attained when it results in maximization of satisfaction of people. How the satisfaction of people we can derive? By producing the goods and services and delivering to the ultimate consumer at a reasonable rate, by keeping in mind the need and the demand of the particular consumer. So here we can say that if any particular firm produces the goods and services that is being demanded by the people, that we can say that it have a maximum satisfaction of the people in that particular economy. So economic efficiency involves three efficiencies, that is efficiency in production. Efficiency in production means maximum output from the given or from the available resources. Okay. The second one is the efficiency in consumption, that is maximum distribution of goods and services for the people, to the people for the consumption in the market. Efficiency in production means efficiency in consumption means distribution of produced goods and services among the people for the consumption in such a way as to maximize the total satisfaction of the society. And the third one is the overall economic efficiency, that is the production of those goods and services which are most desired by the people, that is the basic necessity of life, like food, clothing, shelter, health, education, hygiene, and etc. Microeconomic theories shows under what condition these efficiencies are achieved. Thus, the focus of microeconomics is mainly confined to the price theory and resource allocation, but it does not study the aggregate relating to the whole economy, like national income, like poverty, like unemployment and all. Okay, so I hope that all of you have understood the microscopic study of an economic. Let us start with the features of economics, features of microeconomics. There are total 8 features in microeconomics. Let us say the first one, the study of individual unit. Microeconomic is the study of the behavior of small individual economic unit like individual firm, individual price and individual household. As we know very well, microeconomic means the study of the individual economy, individual unit in a whole economy. So whenever the person starts studying the microeconomics, the first thing that he will do, he will study the one particular part of that economy so that he can have a maximum idea and clarification in his mind, so that he can give the more appropriate knowledge about that particular unit in the functioning of the whole economy. The second one is a price theory. Microeconomic deals with the determination of prices of goods, okay, and the goods and services, as well as the factors of production. We know very well there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Rent, wages, interest and profit has been getting on that 4 factors of production, and the prices of goods and services will be decided by the market forces like demand and supply. The third one is a partial equilibrium. Equilibrium is between the 2 factors like demand and supply. When the demand and supply forces intersect to each other on a particular chart, it means there is a point of equilibrium. But in microeconomics, analysis deals with the partial equilibrium. Macroeconomics में full equilibrium है, but in microeconomics में it is partial equilibrium. That is the individual consumer, individual firm, individual industry. Why it is so? Because it isolates an individual unit from other forces and studies its equilibrium independently. Microeconomics में partial equilibrium क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि the other factors and the forces that is affecting the individual industry, the individual firm and the individual consumer is not taken into the consideration, and because of that reason it is the partial equilibrium. The fourth one is based on Ceteris assumption. Microeconomic begins with the fundamental assumption, that is other thing remaining constant. Now here in this particular point, there are certain assumptions are there in reality which is not possible. The person who is developing the economic terms, the economic models, they assume certain things that this will going to remain constant, but in reality that is not possible. So here other thing remaining constant, we called it as a ceteris paribus, such as a perfect competition, laissez-faire policy, pure capitalism, full employment, etc. In reality this is not possible. Full employment is not possible, perfect competition is not possible, because each and every seller in a particular market, they always try to have an advantage over the other seller by giving the maximum discount, by having a maximum offers and various kind of sales related policies. So this is we can say this is a thing which is being adopted by each and every seller, and because of which the perfect competition is not possible. Full employment is there, it is also not possible. So that is called the ceteris paribus, that is the assumption. We have to assume certain things so that we can prove certain fundamental principle and theories to be appropriate in nature. The fifth one is a slicing method. Microeconomics uses slicing method, that is it splits or divides the whole economy into the small individual unit and then studies each unit separately in detail. Whenever the economy as a whole is there, the particular person, they will divide the economy into the small unit, and then they will start studying the individual economic unit like income, individual income, individual consumption, individual buying behavior and all and all. Sixth one is the use of marginalism principle. The concept of marginalism is a key tool of microeconomic analysis. The term marginal means changes brought in total by an additional unit. By an additional unit means what? Now let us see one particular example so that we can able to have the idea about the additional unit. Let us say that we have three tubs which have a margin, the margin which is being decided, that is on two factors. First one, that is the cost, and second one is the benefit that is being derived by the people out of that particular tubs. Now here the benefit, obviously benefit, when the people will consume particular commodity, the benefit that they will derive after consuming an additional commodity, that will go less, that will be reducing in nature, that will come less. For example, the benefit that the people will derive by consuming the first commodity will be, let us take an example 5. When the person consumes the next commodity, he will derive the benefit of 4. The third, when the person consumes the third commodity, the benefit that he will derive is 3. The fourth unit, when he will consume, the benefit that he will derive is 2. Why it is so? Because when the person consumes the benefit or the utility that has been derived by the people after consuming the first unit, and the utility and the benefit that is being derived by the people after consuming the fourth unit, that will keeps on going in a reduction manner. But the cost of manufacturing each and every unit will keep on increasing. For example, the cost of manufacturing the first one will be 1 rupee, the second one is a 2 rupee, the third one is a 3 rupee, and the fourth one is a 4 rupee. And the benefit that the people is deriving by consuming the first one is a 5, the second one is a 4, third one is a 3, and second one is a 4. But the cost of manufacturing and the cost will keep on increasing, and the benefit after consuming that particular commodity keeps on reducing. So here we can say that marginal analysis is important, because the third one, that is the benefit after consuming, the person when he will consume the third unit, the benefit that is derived is 3, and the cost of manufacture is also 3. So this is the example of marginal benefits or marginal utility. The seventh one is analysis of the market structure. Now here there are different kinds of market is there. The microeconomic analysis are different market structures, and it able to provide an accurate knowledge and idea that what are the forces and what are the factors that it affect the market, such as the perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and monopoly. These are the different market. Perfect competition is a market situation and a condition where the large number of buyer and seller is there. Monopoly, it is a market situation and a condition where only one seller having a complete control over the supply of goods and services in the market. In the same way, monopolistic competition, again the large number of buyer and seller are there selling the substitute goods and all. Oligopoly, again a different market situation and condition. Let us see the last point, that is a limited scope. The scope of microeconomics is limited to only individual unit. Individual unit means what? Whenever the person splits the economy, and when he will start studying that individual unit, he will have an idea about that individual unit, and he can't give an appropriate answer, or he can't have an appropriate knowledge about the whole economy. If the particular person studies the income of an individual unit, then he cannot give an answer related to the national income, because of which it is a limited scope. It doesn't deal with the nationwide economic problems such as inflation, deflation, balance of payment, poverty, unemployment, population, economic growth and all. Because of this reason, we can say that the scope is very limited in microeconomics. So I hope that all of you have understood total 8 points. Now let us start with the importance of microeconomics. The first one is price determination. Microeconomics explain how the prices of different products and various factors of production are determined. Obviously, in microeconomics, we know very well the prices of goods and services is being determined on the basis of the demand and supply analysis. In demand, there are different factors are there, and in supply different factors are there. Both the factors will determine the goods and services that is being produced and distributed in the market. The second one is a free market economy. Microeconomic helps in understanding the working of free market. A free market economy is that economy where the economic decisions related to the production of goods and services, like what to produce, how much to produce, whom to produce, each and every economic decisions related to the manufacturing of goods and services is being taken by the business unit at the free. Why? Because there is no intervention from any government authority, from any government officials. The entrepreneur, the business units are free to take the decision related to the demand, related to the profit that he can able to make out of that goods and services, and accordingly the business unit will take the decision, and that is the free market economy. There is no intervention by the government or any other agency. The third one is related to the foreign trade. Microeconomic helps in explaining the various aspects of foreign trade, like effects of tariff on a particular commodity. Now here we have to understood the two important concepts. Whenever any particular person engage in the import and export of goods, there are two things which has been levied by any particular country, that is the tariff as well as non-tariff. Tariff and non-tariff are the kind of barriers. Tariff barrier means what? Increasing the import duty, increasing the taxes on the particular commodity which has been imported or exported to any particular country is known as a tariff barrier. A non-tariff barrier, example of non-tariff barrier is like quota system. For example, the country, they will set a particular quota, that is the total amount of goods that need to be imported from a particular country. For example, the government of India have decided that we will import only 1000 unit of product X from America. So here no particular trader will going to import more than 10,000 unit of that commodity from commodity X from America. So that is non-tariff barriers. Microeconomic helps in explaining the various aspects of foreign trade, like effects of tariff on a particular commodity, determination of a currency exchange rates. Obviously, when two countries are engaged in the import and export of a particular commodity, goods or services, then a particular price need to be determined, and that particular price is to be need to be paid by the importer and export in one accepted currency, and that accepted currency can be US dollars, and it can be any other international currency which is being accepted by the importer as well as exporter. Normally the trade which is happening between any country, any two countries of the world, it is being done in US dollar, but you can also take in euro, you can also take in pound. It depend upon the mutual agreement and understanding upon the importer and exporter of that particular country. The fourth one is economic model building. Microeconomic helps in understanding the various complex economic situations with the help of economic models. Now here we can say that there are various models need to be developed. There are various models have been developed according to the nature, according to the situation, or according to the condition that is prevailing in the international market or in the national economy, and accordingly the thing can be tackled, the problem can be tackled, the solution can be provided based on the model or based on the theories that has been propounded by the different economists. It has made a valuable contribution to the economics by developing the various terms, like concepts, terminologies, tools of economic analysis and all. Economic models are built using the various economic variables. Let us see the fifth one, the business decision. Microeconomic theories are very helpful for the businessmen in taking the crucial business decisions. These decisions are related to the determination of cost of production, that is the goods at what cost we can manufacture and what prices we have to charge to that particular consumer, so that we can recover the cost of that manufacturing of that particular good along with the profit to the business. So there are many theories are there which is being used by the businessmen in making the business decisions, and accordingly the maximization of output as well as the maximization of profit can be achieved. The sixth one is useful to the government. It is useful to the government in framing the economic policies such as the taxation policy, public expenditure policy, price policy, etc. These policies helps the government to attain its goal of efficient allocation of resources and promoting the economic welfare theory. Allocation of resources means what? Whatever the amount of resources are available, we can use it at a maximum way so that the welfare of the people can be achieved and economic growth and development can be processed in a proper manner. The seventh point is basis of welfare economics. Microeconomics explain how best results can be obtained through the optimum utilization of resources and its best allocation. It also studies how the taxes affects the social welfare. Normally the tax is being imposed by the government on the particular society, that is the people those who are in the earning income age group. Different tax slabs are there, and accordingly the people have to pay the taxes to the government for the betterment of our society, for the public expenditure process. So I hope that all of you have understood the importance of microeconomics. Total 7 importance were there. We have discussed. The first one is the price determination, second one is the free market economy, third one is the foreign trade, fourth one is the economic model building, fifth one is the business decision, sixth one is useful to the government, and seventh one is the welfare of economics. So here we have completed the concept of microeconomics. Now let us start with the second concept, that is macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is a branch of economics which analyzes the entire economy. It deals with the problems like total employment, national income, national output, total investment, total consumption, total saving, general price level, interest rate, inflation, trade cycle, business fluctuation, and etc. and etc. Thus, the microeconomic is a study of aggregate. Microeconomic is a study of aggregate. Aggregate means what? The entire economy, the whole economy. The aggregate को हम क्या बोलेंगे? Entire economy, the whole economy. So whenever a particular person says that I am engaged with a macroscopic study of an economy, that means he is studying the entire unit of that particular economy so that he can have a clear idea about that particular thing. That is the total employment, national income, total output, total investment, total saving, total consumption, general price level, that is at the national level पे. Let us see the definition that has been given in macroeconomics. There are two people who have given the definition. The first one is J.L. Hansen. Let us see his definition. According to J.L. Hansen, macroeconomics is that branch of economics which considers the relationship between the large aggregates such as volume of employment, total amount of saving, investment, and national income, and various other such things. That is the relationship between the various factors like volume of employment. The large number of people are employed, the large number of people are engaged in an economic activity, then the amount of saving will be large. When the amount of saving will be large, the amount of investment will be large. When the amount of investment will be large, the production of goods and services in a particular economy will also be very large, and that will contribute to the national income of a particular country. So according to his definition, we can easily identify that relationship between the large aggregates which contributes to each other. Now let us see the second definition that is given to us by Professor Carl Shapiro. Microeconomics deals with the functioning of an economy as a whole. Here it says that according to Professor Carl Shapiro, he says that it deals with the functioning of a whole economy. That means it studies the whole economy of that particular country. Let us see the scope of macroeconomics. That is the things that is being engaged, the thing which is being which is there in macroeconomics. The first one is the theory of income and employment. Again, the theory of income and employment has been bifurcated into two. One, the theory of consumption and the theory of investment. The theory of consumption depend upon the theory of income. The more the number of people will have income, the consumption will go above. The theory of employment is being affected the theory of investment. If the person is employed, large number of people are employed, large number of people will invest into the particular economy, and both the theories are the theory of business cycle, that is the consumption and investment. The second theory is a theory of general price level and inflation. The third one, theory of economic growth and development. And the fourth one is a theory of distribution. Let us see the first one. Theory of income and employment. Macroeconomic analysis explains which factors determine the level of national income and employment, and what causes the fluctuation in the level of income, output and employment. To understand how the level of employment is determined, we have to study the consumption function and investment function. Here it says the level of employment is determined. We have to, in order to understand this particular factor, we have to understand the consumption function and investment function. Now here the example we can say is miser. Mr. A is a miser. Miser का मतलब होता है कंजूस. If he is employed in a particular industry and if he is earning good salary, and his consumption will be very less and the investment will be very high, this can be a case. There can be a different kind of cases will also be there. The theory of business cycle is also a part and parcel of the theory of income and employment. The second one, theory of general price level and inflation. Macroeconomic analysis shows how the general price level is determined and further explain what causes fluctuation in it. General price level में two factors are affecting it. General price level, the demand for the commodity and the supply for the commodity. Various factors will also affect the demand for the commodity and the supply for the commodity. And the study of general price level is significant on account of the problems created like inflation and deflation. In a market there may be an inflation, in a market there may be a deflation. So we have to understand the reason of inflation, and we also have to understand the reason for the deflation when we will consider the demand for and supply for the goods related to the commodity in a market. The third one is a theory of growth and development. Macroeconomics consists of the theory of economic growth and development. It explains the causes of underdevelopment and poverty. It also suggests the strategies for accelerating the growth and development. So it studies the various factors because of which the economic growth and the development of the country is affected. If the large number of people are unemployed, if the large number of people are uneducated, if the large number of people are unskilled, that is the reason because of which the economic growth and development of the country is not at an appropriate level. So the government will need to take the particular policy, they need to frame certain policy, they need to take certain measure so that these problems can be tackled in a proper manner and the people can be used in an optimum manner so that the economic growth and development can be achieved to its full extent. The fourth one is a theory of distribution. Macro theory of distribution deals with the relative shares of rent, wages, interest and profit in the total national income. Four factors of production are there. Rent is given to the land, wages is given to the worker, interest is given on the capital and the profit is being earned by the entrepreneur. So these are the theories of distribution, and accordingly we can make sure that total output of an economy and the total output, that is the total income of the economy, can be calculated and how it can be increased in a further year. Let us see the features of macroeconomics. There are total 8 features. There are total 8 features of macroeconomics. Let us see the first feature of macroeconomics, that is the study of aggregate. Macroeconomic deals with the study of economy as a whole. That means aggregate mean whole. We have to understand the whole economy. We have to read, we have to find out the knowledge about the whole economy. That is the concern with the aggregate concepts such as the national income, national output, national employment, general price level, business cycle. So these are the various concepts, these are the various things that act in the national economy, act in the whole economy, and we have an idea about certain thing. That is the study of an aggregate. Next one is the income theory. Macroeconomics studies the concept of national income, its different elements, method of measurement and the social accounting. Now here the microeconomic concept for the national income means the total amount of goods and services that is been produced in a particular country. We calculate that thing in a national income. The different elements, the different things that will act in the favor of national income, and the different method for the measurement of the national income. And social accounting. Social accounting means the various stakeholders, those who are directly as well as indirectly are associated with that particular firm, particular industry, and the society in large. Macroeconomics deals with the aggregate demand and aggregate supply, means the total demand and the total supply of a commodity. It explains the causes of fluctuation in the national income that lead to the business cycle, that is inflation and the deflation, the two condition and the situation which always prevails in the market. There can be a national we can say problem can be at the national level within the economy, because of which the inflation can be there, or if the problem at an international level, maybe because of that reason also the inflation or deflation can be there. Example we can give for inflation and deflation is the tension that is going on between America and Iran. India was a larger importer, second largest importer of crude oil from Iran. America have put a sanction on Iran, and because of that reason the prices of petroleum products is obviously very high. But today, in the problem of coronavirus, the prices of petroleum products is keep on reducing. So that can be a situation which prevails at an international as well as national level. When the corona was not there, sanction has been imposed by the America, so the prices of the petroleum products was very high. Obviously, the India and various other countries, they have to find an alternate source of getting the crude oil, and because of that the price of crude oil was very high. But when the coronavirus is there, the prices of the petroleum products is keep on reducing, because the demand for the crude oil from various other countries has been gone down, because each and every country has been associated in producing, manufacturing, buying the medical kits. That is the problem and the reason where we can say that it will have an inflation and deflation. The third one is a general equilibrium analysis. Obviously, when the demand and supply factors intersect, when the demand and supply curve intersect each other, at that particular point of intersection, the point of equilibrium is generated. Microeconomics में we have seen the partial equilibrium, but macroeconomic uses the general equilibrium. General equilibrium deals with the behavior of demand, supply, and the prices in the whole economy. Demand for goods, supply for goods, and the prices that prevails for that commodity in the whole economy. The fourth one is an interdependence. Macroeconomic analysis takes into account interdependence between the aggregate of economic variables such as the income, output, employment, investment, price level, etc. There are many factors which are dependent upon each other. If any one particular factor has any kind of a negative impact, it will obviously create the problem for the other factor that is contributing in an economic unit. Example given here is changes in the level of investment will finally result into the changes in the level of income, and changes in the level of income will have a problem related to the output, and when the people have the problem related to the output, the employment and eventually the level of economic growth will come down. Let us see once again. Changes in the level of investment results into the changes in the level of income. Obviously investment अगर होगा तो क्या होगा, ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा तो ज़्यादा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होगा, ज़्यादा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होगा तो ज़्यादा लोग एम्प्लॉयड होंगे, ज़्यादा लोग एम्प्लॉयड होंगे तो लेवल ऑफ इनकम भी ज़्यादा होगा और नेशनल इनकम एंड टोटल आउटपुट भी ज़्यादा होगा. बट कोई एक फैक्टर भी अगर अफेक्ट हो गया तो simultaneously other factors will also being affected, and because of that reason our national economy, the growth and development of a national economy will be affected. That is the point interdependence. Let us see the fifth point, that is lumping method. Lumping method is a study of the whole economy rather than the part. Now here in microeconomics what we have studied slicing method. Slicing method में क्या हो रहा था, we divide the entire economy into the small part and then we are making a detailed analysis and the study of that individual unit. But in macroeconomics we are taking the lumping method in order to understand and in order to have the complete knowledge about that particular economic unit like income level, employment level, total output, total production, and various other things. Example given here in the lumping method, according to Professor Boiling, forest is an aggregation of trees, but it does not reveal the property of an individual tree. Like in forest, there are so many trees are there are so many types of trees are there, but the forest doesn't reveal the identity of one particular tree that prevails in that particular forest. If we have to understood, we have to take that particular forest and we have to understood and we have to derive the knowledge about the whole forest and not as an individual tree in that particular forest. The sixth point is the economic growth model. Macroeconomics studies various factors that contribute to the economic growth and development. Growth models, we know very well there are certain parameters are there are certain factors are there which affect the economic growth and which contribute to the economic growth and development. So it is useful for the developing growth. It is useful in the developing growth model. These growth models are used for studying the economic development. Example, Manhabalo's growth model emphasizes on the basic heavy industries. So there are certain factors are there are certain theories are being propounded, and accordingly the growth model has been adopted by the various national economy at the central level, at the state level, and accordingly they are following that. The seventh point is general price level. Determination and changes in the general price level are studied in macroeconomics. Okay, general price level is the average of all prices of goods and services currently being produced in the economy. So the total volume of goods and services and amount of which it is being traded in an economy is known as a general price level. 8th point is a policy oriented. According to Keynes, macroeconomic is a policy oriented science. It suggests the suitable economic policies to promote the economic growth, generate employment, control of inflation and depression. So economics may, whenever we are studying the economics, and in that particular specifically the macroeconomics may, it is more of policies, where it is more of plans, it is more of procedures that we are studying, and accordingly we are implementing so that we can tackle the various problems and various difficulties that affect the economy. So this is the total 8 point that we have studied in features of macroeconomics. Let us start with the next concept, that is the importance of macroeconomics. There are total 7 points are there in macroeconomics. The first one is the functioning of an economy. Macroeconomic analysis gives us an idea about the functioning of the economic system. When we study the macroeconomic, there are various factors are there. When we will study the various factors, it will give us an idea that how the economy functions, the various factors that contribute to the economic growth and development of an economy, the various reasons because of which the problems are being faced by that particular economy, how to tackle the problem of that particular economy, we are studying and understanding it in a more appropriate manner. It helps us to understand the behavior pattern of aggregative variables in large and complex economic system, like total output, total production, total level of employment, total consumption, total saving, total investment. The second one is the economic fluctuation. Macroeconomic helps to analyze the causes of fluctuation in income, output and employment, and make us an attempt to control them or reduce their severity. There are many factors which may cause the reason of the fluctuation. Fluctuation means what? Whenever there is a changes in the income, whenever there is a changes in the output, whenever there is a changes in an employment. The changes can be in the two form. It can be in a positive way, it can be in a negative way. If the changes occur in a positive manner, then obviously the factors are contributing in a better way. But if the changes occur in a negative manner, that is the negative change in the income of the people, negative change in the output of the output of a particular country, if the negative changes in the level of employment of the particular country, then obviously the problems are there. There are various factors which will contribute this kind of problem, and the people and the government will take the measure to tackle such problem. For example, in today's time, where the coronavirus has affected our economy in a very bad manner, the large number of people are unemployed. There are somewhere around 32 point more than 32% of people are being unemployed. The rate of unemployment is keep on going because of lockdown. The large number of people have we can say they have left their job. Some of the people, they have been removed from the job. The salary has not been given by the employer, and because of that reason the level of employment has been affected. So the coronavirus is like a situation and a condition which have a direct impact on the employment of the particular economy. In the same manner, the income is also being reduced, and the total output, the growth rate of India, somewhere or the other, yesterday the RBI has given the data related to the output and the growth rate of our country. The growth rate of our country will be 1.7%, which was the least growth rate from the independence. The least growth rate that we have seen in the year 1929, and in the year 2020 we are seeing the lowest growth rate of our country. But still, according to the international organizations like World Bank, IMF and all, they says that the economy of India and China is being very strong. It will going to be stable after the coronavirus impact will be over. The third one is a national income. The study of macroeconomic has brought forward the immense importance of the study of national income and social accounts. National income means the total value of all goods and services that is been produced in a particular year. It means the total national income. Without a study of national income, it is not possible to formulate the correct economic policies. So the national income of a country should keep on increasing each and every year, so that the government can plan certain measures for the economic growth and development, and accordingly the policies need to be framed and implemented. Economic development, fourth point, as we have already spoken about it sometime. Advanced studies in macroeconomics helps to understand the problems of developing countries, such as poverty is there, unemployment is there, we can say income inequality in income and wealth is there, difference in the standard of living of people is there. So the developing economy of a particular continent, like in Asia and in African subcontinent, there are many developing countries are there. They are facing the problems. They are facing a different kind of problem. For example, the illiteracy is there. For example, the number of people are not employed. The standard of living of the people is very poor. So the World Bank and IMF and the particular economy and the particular government of that country are framing various economic policies, and they are adopting the various policies so that all the problems of such economy can be tackled in a proper manner, so that it can have some kind of positive growth rate. It suggests the important steps to achieve the economic development. Some factors which contribute to the economic development, they will make sure that the large number of people will do that kind of a thing. The fifth point is performance of economy. Macroeconomic helps us to analyze the performance of an economy. National income estimates are used to measure the performance of an economy over the time by comparing the production of goods and services in one period with the another period. So whenever the performance of a particular country need to be evaluated, need to be find out, we have to find out the total value of goods and services that has been manufactured by that particular country in one particular year. And in order to find out the difference and the positive growth rate, we have to find the difference between the national income of one particular year, the difference between the national income in the another particular year. If the difference is in a positive way, we can say our economy is growing and improving day by day. But if the difference is in a negative way, we can say that the economy is not improving, and there are certain problems are there, and the government need to tackle that problem by implementing the proper policies related to that problem. The sixth point is the study of macroeconomic variables. Variables means the various factors that affect the economy. To understand the working of an economy, study of macroeconomic variables are important. Main economic problems are related to the economic variables, such as the behavior of total income, total output, total employment, general price level in an economy. So the total amount of, we can say the total behavior of the people related to the income, related to the output, related to the employment and general price level, it is need to be studied, and the various factors that affect this kind of a thing. And we can say that when we study the variables, we can find out the difference. We can have a detailed knowledge and study of that particular variables, and we can have the problem so that it can be tackled in a proper manner. The seventh point is the level of employment. Macroeconomic helps to analyze the general level of employment and output of an economy. The large number of people are employed in our economy, the level of output will be large, and when the level of output will be large, the total value of goods and services we can measure, that will calculate the national income of our economy. So here we have completed our chapter, that is the introduction to micro and macroeconomics. Now here on page number 6 there is a distinguish between given, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. So here we have to go through this distinguish between, and on page number 7 the exercise is given related to the concerned chapter, that is the introduction to micro and macroeconomics. I hope that you understood the lecture and you can easily solve the exercise that is given on page number 7. Thank you, class.